I think.
Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was like, I got the email that you were trying to get in, and then I'm like trying to make sure because I got the free version. So I'm like, I'm
Right.
I can have more than one person here. I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure it's recording so I don't forget. Okay, hello guys.
Hi.
Hello.
It's Jadeja. I'm so happy you guys are joining me today. As I told you guys, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. And I've done a few before, and I've even talked to Ebony before. But if you guys would just introduce yourselves, your name, and your pronouns.
Hi, I'm Marie. So my name is Chelsea Marie, which it's Chelsea Garrett, but I go by Marie when it comes to anything K-pop related. My pronouns are she, her, they, them.
Okay. My name is Ebony, and I just go by she, her.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully we have a really fun chat. It's really interesting because yesterday I had a chat, but it was with somebody who actually worked in the K-pop industry. So it was actually really
wow.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
like nice to see and like hear like her perspective of how things work and stuff like that.
Mm.
And so like, I of course found both of you on TikTok, and of course K-pop related, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just go ahead and start with like some of the groups that you guys are into, or like the fandoms that you're into.
Yeah. How much time you got? I am a multi, so if you look behind me, you'll see like my collection of albums, and those are all, besides like two, which take up just GOT7 the BTS, those are all different groups. My old groups are GOT7, BTS, and then Monsta X, ATEEZ, P1 Harmony, one is girl groups is my one where I'm like kind of iffy, but Mamamoo is my like ultimate girl group.
Mamamoo, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I've been really into WeI the last like couple of months. GOT7, Blackpink, Monsta X. I try to listen to like a little bit of everybody, but those are like my major groups.
Yeah, I have one old group, but I try not to even say it, but I feel like on my channel, like people already know, but I do listen to those groups. Do you guys mostly stand? Because I feel like
wait, hold on. You can't not tell us what your old group is. You can't have us say and then not tell us what yours is.
It's ATEEZ. It like came out of nowhere, but like my first, like of course I've heard of BTS, and I was gonna ask you guys like how you learned about K-pop and how you got into it. But like for me, I heard the name BTS, and I like didn't want to get into it because I'm like no, and like because they were so overhyped. Like well at the time, like I'm just like oh I keep hearing BTS, BTS.
Yeah.
Like that made me not want to get into them for some reason, and so. Then I heard like Blackpink. I'm like, I'll keep hearing about Blackpink. So like they were like the first groups I heard of about K-pop without knowing like Girls' Generation like years ago, like Girls' Generation was K-pop. But like what groups like really brought you guys into K-pop, or like the first groups that you learned about K-pop?
For me, it was Girls' Generation, Wonder Girls, 21, Big Bang.
Ooh.
I want to say those are like the four major groups when I first got into it.
Those are good gateway groups into K-pop. I got into K-pop on accident, and it honestly didn't start with K-pop. It started with K-dramas, and or actually not even K-dramas, Japanese dramas. And then it went from Japanese dramas to K-dramas. And I don't know if you've heard of the drama Dream Night that GOT7 has done. It's the most cringy drama you could ever watch, but I watched that, and there's a scene where Mark winks into the camera, and I'm like, oh my god, who is that? I need to know. And I searched them, found GOT7, and then kind of the rest of its history from there. So they were like my gateway into that. But then I never realized like I had heard Big Bang songs, I had heard 21 songs.
Right.
Of course, everybody fucking knows Psy, like the ones where everyone has heard those like iconic songs.
Oh yeah. What's K-pop? The Gangnam Style. Yeah.
Gangnam Style was everywhere. Everyone was fucking doing that dance. But GOT7 was my like ultimate gateway into it. And then after that, BTS, I learned about them before. Like everyone was like, oh my god, BTS.
Yeah.
So I get now that a lot of people are into them. So I wouldn't say they're overhyped, but we are overexposed to the amount of stuff when it's just BTS. Because when people think K-pop, that's like what they think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then like Shiny, that was the other group that I was like,
Oh, yeah.
damn, Shiny.
See, the thing is, like, I do this thing where like I do K-pop month where like I get to know like groups, like so I'll dedicate a week to that group, right? And it's like I've heard, of course, of Shiny, but it's just such a sad, like what I know of, it's just so sad. And I feel like I don't know if I can handle it. Like I feel like I'll get really invested and then I'm be like, I don't know. But I heard Pentagon cover that one song during Kingdom and it was so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing with Shiny is everybody focuses on like what had happened to Junghyun, and like that's what everyone is always like, oh well that, but their music and their stuff, like if people overlook their music, it is quality. Like they set so many standards for what K-pop is today. So like I get into Shiny. They still got their comebacks. They're all coming back. They're getting out of the military. Highly recommend it. Minho is bae. Like there's on entertainment, like there's just too many good things that happen with Shiny that I feel like you need to just dive. Like they're great.
What was his name getting said? What was his name?
Minho?
Minho.
He was in the military. The eyes, the muscles. I say the muscles because he went into the military and like everyone like, oh, they have to enlist, you know. No, he joined special forces in the military. Like he was like, nah, I'm a go be all I can be.
They like it's so sad about like them having to, that's like the one thing about boy groups, like when you stand, it's like you have to send them away. And like for me, I had just started standing SF9 earlier this year and both of my biases left me. They were like, we gotta go. And I was just like, I just got into y'all. Like, where are you going? And same thing with 17. I'm like slowly getting to them. They're starting military soon. Like, what is happening? I don't like that.
At least you get the shorter sentences. Before it was the whole 2 years. Now it's like 18 months. It's slowly getting smaller and smaller.
That is so amazing. You guys came in with a lot of just really great second and third gen groups. I of course heard, I like got into 2NE1 a little bit, but like I've kind of heard that whole thing, what happened with them and YG and stuff. But you also said Wonder Girls Generation. I had listened to their comeback, Girls' Generation, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was really nice.
It was.
Wonder Girls disbanded, right?
Yeah. I think in I could be wrong, 2017, I think. I want to say, I think 2017.
They had 5 members? No, 6. 5 or 6.
I want to say it was originally 6 because Hyuna was in the original lineup and then she left not long after that. So I believe 5. And then it went down to 4 when they came back.
Okay.
You're right. 2017, disband.
Okay.
She knew her group expert. And it was another group because there's like I'm also learning about AOA. Have you guys heard of them?
Oh yeah.
So are they second or third gen?
I think
they're second.
Oh, I thought third.
I thought third because
I gotta look this up now too.
Because of Queendom, I thought because like most of them were third gen, except the soloist from 2NE1.
Yeah,
she was second. But besides that, I think it was like third gen. Well, then Giada was fourth gen. She's like, I love how she's looking it up. Like, thank you.
Right.
I gotta know my facts now. They're third gen.
Okay.
It's like that. We were talking about that yesterday too, of like the confusing of gen, because even I was just like, when does fifth gen start? Because it's just like it's so many fourth gen groups. Like, when does fifth gen start?
They put out a group every 2 weeks with fourth gen. I'm very confused because I'm like, y'all just debuted like 5 groups last month. What am I supposed to do now?
Exactly. Right. And they debuted a lot during COVID of 2020 too. Yeah. It was did P1 Harmony start 2020? aespa, I think 2020. It was a few that
and Hyphen was newer. There was a lot that came out.
Was there like any debut of fourth gen? We'll get into third gen later, but a fourth gen that really surprised you, like their debut, like just kind of blew you away?
ATEEZ is fourth gen, right?
Who is?
ATEEZ is fourth gen, right?
Yeah.
They came out like they were a whole a whole company. Their first 2 music videos, I was confused at how that was their first video.
Yeah.
For me, it was CIX. Like, I just was so surprised by like how well it sounded. Like, I feel like a lot of times I have like a critique or two, but I was like, this is really good for this to be like their first song for a 4th gen group. I was really surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of CIX. When did they? Because I've heard of them, and it's like Treasure, their 4th gen, right?
Yeah.
A lot of names I've heard of, but it's just so many groups that it's kind of
Yep.
overwhelming. What was your first K-pop concert?
Monster X.
Same.
Monster X.
Got many? Huh?
When I decided to get into K-pop and start going to concerts, that first year I went to 12.
Oh my
So
God.
between K-hip hop, K-pop, I went to every K-pop concert that popped up. I was like, I'm going.
Well, you have to live in a place where they visit a lot because K-pop only really go to like 5, 6 states.
Right.
I did. I was in California at the time, so I was able to go to all these concerts. I was like, yes. But I'm pretty sure Monster X was my first one.
Oh, I love this. I love this. Mama Bear. I love this.
Oh yes.
But like, was Wano there with when you?
Yes. So the one I had was when they did Versace on the Floor, and I had Juhan and Shonu in leather, Wonho in leather pants.
Oh my God.
And I was like on the floor. So yeah.
Oh, who is your bias among sex?
Juhan?
I feel like I already know yours, Ebony. I feel like I already know yours. I feel I got my eye on you though. I feel like I know yours. I don't know. Okay, just let me know. Just tell me.
I am.
That makes sense. I feel the energy from you for I am.
Do you?
Who's yours?
I'ma say Honey, but Minhyuk decided to get his claws into me later, so I'm very confused on what I'm supposed to be doing.
I didn't know that in their comeback, and I was like asking my subscribers, I'm like, who was calling me Shawty? And so I thought it was between Kihyun and Hyungwon. And they were like, no, Minhyuk said that. I think it was a Late Night Feels. He was like, Shawty.
Oh.
Minhyuk, where is this coming from? Where's this coming from? I don't like this. But he's so adorable. I got into them, I think, earlier this year, and immediately fell in love with them. Like, they were so amazing. And then, of course, I found like the whole thing with Wano and stuff like that. So speaking of members leaving, I know we don't have to talk about it in detail, or I could just like cut this out. But I just like literally last weekend, I just started Oneness. And there's this whole thing about
I've been hearing about that.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with that one.
Like, my thing is, I don't know like the details, but I would say like when it comes to, and it's like not, I don't know if he's leaving or not, but when I think of a member leaving, I I guess because like when I was first getting into K-pop, I'm like, oh, it's like always sad, da da da. But then it's like something, or like unfair rumors and stuff, and like, I don't know if anything's true or not. But when it comes to a member leaving, it's just really sad. Of course, not all circumstances are the same, but I just didn't know if you guys heard about that situation with Oneness.
I've heard a little about it, but I don't listen to the group. So for me, the news was shocking just in general, and so sudden.
Yeah.
This, I unfortunately stumbled into this for Oneness because I like their music, but they're not a group I'm like, oh, I stan them. Also, I forgot to say I stan Stray Kids, and I'm a horrible stay for ignoring them. But Oneness, when this came out, the person who is involved with this issue was on a health hiatus prior to, and so now it's coming out that health hiatus was not a health hiatus. And so it has something else that links to this issue now. And so now it's more than just the asking fans for buying stuff for them. There's a whole harder allegations, dating rumors, dating multiple women at the same time, like there's a whole bunch of stuff that is like spiraling now. But I hate listening to he said, she said,
Right.
Because like it's the instance, I don't know if you're into NCT, but like Lucas got in trouble for something and he's still on hiatus, but technically part of the group for something that before he was even in the group, and that was him gaslighting an ex-girlfriend. Where I'm like, that's a he said, she said from years ago that you're now pulling into now. So it's kind of hard for me to believe things. I was like, I need physical proof and not like the, oh, I'm just going to believe the idol because of the idol.
Right.
I just need proof because I wouldn't want someone to say, oh, Marie's out here doing X, Y, and Z, and then everybody cancels me. And it's like, but I didn't do that.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I had seen one video where she was like, I believe the victim and the victim only. And I just feel like, but there's nothing wrong with waiting. It's like okay to have, I guess, that perspective, but it's like also okay to wait until more information comes out. Because I also feel like a lot of times, like we're in the dark of a lot of stuff. So just because it's like a narrative that's out, that's pointing to him being guilty, it could turn around like a year later and be like, it actually just wasn't, it was like a rumor. So I feel like, and now what company is one of us with? Are they with like a name like we would know?
It's not one of the bigger ones. Hold on.
Because I've of course heard like Cube doesn't do well with like scandals and like handling scandals, and just like different companies don't do well with actually handling scandals. So I don't know.
RBW.
Have I heard of it?
Oh, there was Mamamoo's.
I was about to say Mamamoo's.
Yeah.
That's interesting that they be the same with Mama. Okay, I thought it was a smaller company, which I guess it kind of is, but still. But yeah, it's like a lot of things going on in K-pop right now. Like a lot of it's getting ghetto out here.
It's been ghetto. It's just people like to jump on it immediately, and I'm like, damn, y'all don't know everything yet. Give it like a day or two, and then start talking. But everybody jumps on it and everyone's like, why is nobody else talking about this? Because we don't have all the fucking facts, bro.
Like seriously, like when I first got into K-pop, and I think Wano wasn't the first one that had happened, but I had heard of different people like leaving groups, and I was just shocked to hear that rumors can get you kicked out of a group. I'm like, a rumor? Like, crazy things happening to American artists around here? Like, and then a rumor could get you kicked out. I don't know. It's just I put in too much work for a rumor to be like the end of me, So it is nice when I see like members that have falsely got accused and like got kicked out of the group come back with their solo stuff. So do you guys keep up with Wano?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When he comes for America, I will be front row. I will be front row for that tour.
I heard maybe we won't get a tour here because he's going to military, but
we don't talk those into existence. Until I hear it, I refuse to believe it.
I'm nervous because like Mama Bear, like kind of in the dark of like who would be going to military, because I just feel like they can't leave Chinga by himself. Like there's no way they're gonna leave him by Maknae by himself. That's so cruel.
I mean, they might. I'm waiting for military enlistments. I'm waiting to see BTS just leave. That's my military enlistment.
I don't know if they're gonna do it. I've heard like fans say like they probably won't go.
They've said they want to go. So if they don't go, I'm gonna be mad. Because they've said multiple times they want to go. Because it's like a respect thing for their country and all of this stuff. So they're like, no, we want to go. It's only international fans. It's like, no, don't go.
Right.
Nah, everybody else has to go. Get your shit done and come back.
Does GOT7 have to go soon? I don't know. Who's
some of them? JV's leaving after his tour. He already said after his tour that he's doing right now, he's gonna enlist.
Wow, this is crazy. But I don't know much about NCT. But is that the group or was it the other group? I don't want to make fans get mad, but like, what's the one like a lot of members had left and they're like slowly waiting for them to come back? It's not
EXO. Well, EXO had most of their members leave and they're coming back. NCT hasn't started leaving yet. They will. Yeah. But they are the group that will never leave members and they just keep adding members. So they're at 23 right now. So every year they're gonna like keep adding members. So if they enlist, no one's gonna know this because they have new members to fill their spots until they come back. It's ever growing.
I don't know if I want to get in. That's just so much. That's too much. It's just a lot.
Just start small. Start with the like NC 127, and
Yeah.
then do Dream. You'll
I've
start
heard
mixing
about
members, but
127 a lot. I kind of started Dream because I just heard their song Boom because Dance Racha of Stray Kids had covered their song, and I was just like, oh, what song is this? And I'm like, okay, I see you.
yeah, they go hard.
And being a multi, I've talked about this before. Fan wars. What we doing about those? I mean, how are you feeling about those being a multi? Just fan wars every day.
Which one? Cause
Well, yeah, I don't really. The only ones that I really know about, like the famous one is Stay versus 18. Like that's like a famous one that like continues to happen. I think maybe because of Kingdom. So, but you guys can be different because if you're NCT, I don't know, like they're. Well, I don't know. I know they
all
have
of my stuff fight. Every group, every fandom you'll find will fight for some reason, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I heard. I think Army are very strong and don't look like that. And I was just saying, like, they're very strong-minded people.
I feel like personally, I don't think armies are that bad. I think people think they're that bad because they're one of the biggest fandoms, and it's literally so many at like one time. I think that's what it really is. Because me personally, I never really get into it with them. Even if I have like say something I might dislike about a song or whatever, I feel like I never get into it with them.
Oh, then you're lucky. So here's the thing. I consider myself an army in general, but there's certain groups. Like I'm a Stay, I'm a Nagase, I'm an Army, I'm a Mandebe. Like, so there are groups where I'm like, that is my fandom. Then there are groups that I just like. But because Army is so big, there are people in Army who like to fight for things. Because when it comes to groups telling me as a multi, I'm not a real fan. Unfortunately, that has been the fandom that has told me the most that because I stand other groups, I don't have loyalty to my group. But they're not the only fandom that's done that. They're just the majority of it. So to the point where if I and my company, so we used to do reactions to videos, and we would stop doing reactions to BTS because if we said something that wasn't negative but they didn't like, our whole video would get torn down. Like we would be getting cussed out. We would be saying we have not like we'd be getting reported. Like it would be horrible. So we stopped doing reactions to them, which I hated because I'm like, that's my group. But I'm like, I'm marketing for my company. So I'm like, I don't want to put us in a position where we're going to have to deal with the negative stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, have we had that for other groups? Yeah, we've had people come in and come out, but not to the point where it's that bad. But it's not all Army, which is the problem. It's just the ones that are loud are vocal. But then again, every fandom has people who are like, I'm a ride for my fandom. And if you do something bad to my group or say something I don't like, I'm gonna come for you. Which it happens. So it's like, yeah, Army's not that bad, but they do have negative, but every fucking fandom has.
Exactly. It's just like
because they crazies.
Yeah, it's because they're so big that like their negativity like always just like it's so loud. And I've only done a few BTS reactions on my channel. And thankfully it hasn't been like like I don't want to be a fake reaction. Like I can't if I don't like a song and I'm not vibing with it, I'm just not like regardless of the fandom. Like I can't, but that is true. I've seen it before with 18 where they just they went to someone's page, which to be fair, he was like dissing them and stuff like that. But it's crazy how much a fandom can really remove your video and like get you off the internet. Like that's just insane. But you guys are more on TikTok, and I feel like I'm more scared of that just because there's so many voices and like negative I don't know. I just like post back my videos from YouTube, but you guys actually like do this a lot. So do you guys like how do you guys handle dealing with the negativity and like the comments and stuff like that?
Me personally, I honestly never let it bother me because I know they're only saying this because they're offended. I know 9 times out of 10, they are really just mad that I don't like their group or don't like this song or didn't like this comeback or like whatever the case is. So I usually just I ignore it because at the end of the day, to me, I'm like, I don't even know you in real life. You don't know me in real life. I'm gonna forget this comment like 10 minutes from now. never.
Mhm.
I don't care. I'm like, I mean, go ahead and like cry about it. I'm still gonna say what I want to say. Why I don't want to get on here and be like, oh, I love this song and it's amazing,
Right.
and like just to make you feel better. And that's not how I actually feel.
Yeah.
Mhm. I've gotten lucky. I don't really get negative comments on my TikToks. But I also don't do as much controversial shit as I could do. Because I weigh the balances of, is this worth me saying or is this not? Because I've had videos where I was like, I'm gonna post this and put it in my drafts and waited, and then saw somebody else post something similar, and then everything negative. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna put myself through that today because I'm a sensitive host sometimes, and I don't need that on my mentality. But I've gotten lucky where most of the people in the small community of people who follow me and I follow are kind of similar minded. So it's a lot of multis, which is great because they understand, like, as long as you're not disrespectful, then we're cool. I think I've had like 1 or 2 negative comments, and I'm not the crazy one. My girlfriend, though, if she sees something on my comments that's negative, I can't stop what comes out of her mouth. But yeah, so I just kind of like roll with it and then let it go because can't really. It's the internet. People are going to be trolls.
I just feel like, because I've like seen profiles before on Twitter where they're just like, I'm just for example, I'm an army only, like I only want to follow armies, but it's just like, isn't it hard to not be a multi in K-pop? Like there's so many freaking talent and amazing groups. Like how can you not be a multi?
Doesn't make sense. But Twitter's a whole nother, that's a whole nother battlefield.
Twitter's a beast. Like it's terrifying on Twitter. I don't really post a lot. I do a lot of retweeting and stuff because y'all can come for me, like on my personal page. My other page, y'all can worry about that. Y'all know about that.
And that's the problem on Twitter. They're like, I'm gonna go find your information. I'm gonna find your address. I'm like, it's just K-pop. It's not that serious.
Where show your face on the icon. Like they don't even show their faces. It'd be like the idol faces. Like show your face. Let me see what's going on here. Like they be so bold. I'm like, goodness, y'all are hiding behind the screen. Please stop.
Only problem is they hide behind the screen, but they got all this damn information for shit. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna call your job. How do you know where I work?
There's some robots though. Like I've seen videos where people say like some of them are robots that like start a lot of drama, and it kind of becomes like, because it's like just like, for example, like they'll have like a piece of meat purposely, and like everyone takes the bait. And like that's what I can't stand, especially like with the groups that I'm in, because I'm just like, y'all need to be out here embarrassing me. Like y'all need to act right. Like we're not doing this today. And being like a person of color in K-pop, I feel like I don't know much about the crush situation, but being a Black K-pop fan, I feel like can be exhausting sometimes, not only from other fans of different cultures, but also artists themselves. So like when you guys see artists appropriate, what are your thought process on that? I know we spoke about this a little bit, Ebony, before, but what about you, Marie? And you can also add, Ebony.
I'm thrown in the middle of things because I'm Mexican and Black, so I'm mixed. So if I say an opinion, unfortunately, that some people don't agree with when it comes to appropriation, because I look at things from a different spectrum than you guys would, because we look different when it comes to being Black, and so we're perceived differently. So I've seen things in a different light. And so like sometimes I don't say my opinion, because if I don't say it the way certain people like it, I get torn down and say my opinion's not considered because I'm not really Black. Or if I do go with the fandoms, I'm like, okay, this is the problem. Then I have people coming at me. It's like, oh, well, why are you only defending Black people when this happens to X, Y, and Z? But there's so much when it comes to appropriation where me and my friend have a podcast about this. Appropriation and appreciation is a fine line. There are times when I feel like they're really appreciating the culture and like they're really looking into what they're doing. They've really researched it. They've studied it. They've done all this stuff so that when they're doing it, it comes out correctly. But some people, which is normally non-Black people, will be like, oh, they're appropriating. I'm like, nah, that's not the same. Mm-hmm. But let's say they do something like, oh, I'm aware of this aesthetic because I think this is cool, or I think this is hip hop. Then I'm like, nah, that shit's not cool. Like y'all don't understand the reasons behind it. So it would be a lot more than a 10-minute conversation for this, because appropriation and appreciation is like a real thing for me, because I've studied a lot with my culture and like what goes into like why things are the way they are. But also I just hate people wearing this shit as a costume. And so like the crush issue, I'm like, I don't want to say what happened or what didn't happen because I wasn't there. But also I've seen videos on both sides. Like the girls, yes, it looks like from the videos that we saw, he ignored their hand and was like, nah. Now I've seen videos where the audio says, you guys need to be careful. In Korean, he says, y'all need to be careful. And when he reached down back for her hand, she moved her hand back when his hand was right there. So I'm like, I don't know what to believe because I wasn't there. So I don't feel like I can speak on that.
Right.
But also K-pop is fucking just Black culture. Like they took Black culture and turned it into something that's more easily managed for people. So like they take parts of the culture and use it. And as long as they show respect to the companies, like SM is great for using Black producers, Black songwriters, Black choreographers, and they give the credit back to where it's due. So like I appreciate that. But as long as they're doing that, it's cool. But if they're not and they're not showing that respect, then I'm like, what the fuck is going on? If that makes sense.
Yeah. What about you, Ebony? Do you have anything to add?
I kind of do. I'm just trying to gather my words, what it is.
It's fine, take time.
I guess I just want to add on to her point. It's more frustrating because I feel like whenever they do, like, I feel like it's almost never appreciation. Like there are some cases I feel like it's more appropriation only because, like she said, I feel like they're more like, oh, this is like Black people. This is how they act. This is hip hop culture. I feel like it's more of like them trying to imitate what they associate with Black people in like rap music instead of like trying to find a line to appreciating it and like finding something that like they actually enjoy and like works with them instead of trying to put on an act.
Yeah.
Like a good example is BTS when they originally started and they did their fucking, I can't remember the show. They came to California, worked with God damn it. This is my problem. Fuck. It was an old BTS show. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, I know. I'm very new to BTS. Ebony, who's your bias in BTS?
V.
Girl, something wrong with him. I ain't getting into him. He ain't about to get me.
Did you see him stripping on stage in Busan?
No.
He had a red shirt. They had a button all down. I'm gonna need you to go get him.
I originally thought he was the Macne. I mean, I wasn't technically wrong because he's in the Macne line, but I thought he was like the Macne. I'm like, look how adorable. Then I seen him. I'm like, oh, you just stop. You need to stop. Do something. There's something wrong with you.
I can't remember. They basically came, worked with well-known producers here, worked with well-known gospel singers. Like they went through the process of studying like why is the music the way it is? Why is rap, like what's the history in it? They were like enveloped in it, doing music videos in California. Like it was all done in LA around, I think it was in fucking Compton or something. Like it was all around the people who they're making their sound the same. So because they took the time, like they were here for like a month just studying and learning and doing all that. That's where the appreciation comes in. Cause it's not like, oh, I saw this on TV. So I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this is hip hop. I'm gonna wear my chains. I'm gonna do all this. Like, they were literally a part of that, understanding why it was the way it was. So it came off as respect instead of disrespect. Even their idol, when they were doing the African dances, the clothes, all of that was also based off of things from Africa where they had background dancers. They learned the dances and everything through their sounds in the song. So like that for me is like always a highlight of appreciation compared to just putting on a costume.
Yeah.
It's really gonna bug me now. I can't think of that damn show.
And I don't want to say the group, but so when it comes to because I feel like there's times where idols don't have a say in what they wear, but then I just feel like if they see the backlash of them wearing that, or where it's like whether it's hair or like an outfit, if they see a problem with that, why would they do it again? You know, so I feel like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if I need to look at the artists, the idol, or like look at the designers and like the company itself. And me and the fan I talked to yesterday, we were talking about how it'd be nice if they had like a class. Like if you had so many like times where fans just were outraged what they did, like why don't you have a class to teach them like, yo, don't do this again, here's why, you know?
They do, and that's the problem.
What?
Some of these companies have classes based off of this. and they still do it. But I think it does come down to the designers because they set the way they're going to look for most of the smaller groups. The larger groups, I don't know how much of a say they have, but the designers are the ones who are like, yeah, whatever. But they do have classes. There's even YouTube videos of some of these groups going through these classes.
No, that's embarrassing.
That.
Now, if the classes are run by people of color, though, that's a whole different story. Because if they're run by Koreans, then it's going to be the same shit cycling through again.
Right. And to me, that wouldn't make sense. Like, if you had a class for, like, why would you have a Korean do? Like, why wouldn't you want? And it's Black people that live in Korea.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not even like something where they can't find Black people. Like, nah, you know, I've seen many Black people there, and they seem to like really enjoy it. Have you guys ever visited Korea?
Mm-mm.
You have? Oh, did you like it?
I went in 2019, then I went last year for 3 months, and then I'm going again next year.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it is not as bad as some people make it out to be, and then there also is their own issues within itself. But I keep going back, so I mean, it's not that bad. I could tell you, I feel safer there than I do walking around the streets here.
I'm not surprised by that.
Right.
I've even surprisingly seen UK people say the same, like they feel safer in Korea than in the UK. And I'm like, not the UK, it's good.
I mean, they're just gonna stare at you. That's the worst. They might touch your hair. My friend, we have a video of us standing. My friend has a bigger butt than most people, shapely. And so we have a video of this old man just so they're gonna stare, but they don't really do anything. Like you don't feel like you're gonna do anything. You might feel like you're the center of attention, but that's normally the worst it gets. Now you can deal with crazy going in the clubs, but that's a whole different story.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna talk about that. But y'all, you know, I got the free version, so I'm gonna resend y'all another link. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Crap. I have terrible memory. What were we? Okay, I said I was gonna talk about go off of what you were saying. What were we saying was?
Oh, being in Korea.
There we go. So the Korean clubs. So I've heard a little bit about the Korean clubs and like how it can get down, especially with foreigners. So like, do you have experience with that?
So me and my friends went in 2019. This last time we didn't really go to clubs because COVID. When we went the first time though, we had no issues. We've heard issues of people getting into clubs because they're foreigners, because they're Black, like this and that. We had no issues. I am the lightest of my friends. So when people are like, oh, well, you're white. I'm like, I'm not, but
right.
Getting in the clubs wasn't an issue for us. Honestly, being Black, going into these hip hop clubs, like they were like super excited. Like, we have the music you like you could come and like it pulling us off the fucking street. Like, y'all want to come into this club? Like it never had an issue getting into it. Now there is an age thing that might happen, which I'll let you know once you go to Korea this next year, because they're saying once you're 30, you can't get into clubs, not even just foreigners, like age. So I'll get back to you with an update on if that is actually a thing or not. Because somebody posted about it on YouTube, but I also think it's because it was a man who posted about it. And no matter what for clubs, no matter what country, they normally are more lenient towards women than men getting in. I can't say this last time, and I don't know if it was prejudice or what. We were going out and we weren't let into a club that we had originally been, or as a restaurant club, and that we originally let into multiple times before. But this time, as foreigners, we weren't allowed to go in. Like, they were like, no, there's no tables, but then they let Korean people in behind us. So we were like, well, we've done this before. What the fuck's going on? But then this is also when, unfortunately, the military there, American military, fucks it up for foreigners because they like to fight, they like to get rowdy, they like to get drunk. So I do think they didn't listen because we're foreigners, but I also think they thought we were part of like the military groups that just got out from their COVID thing and they were allowed to go party. So they were just kind of turning away foreigners because of that. So I like can kind of understand why they were turning away foreigners for that instance, because they were out there fighting in the streets, fighting in the clubs. Like it was messy.
Yikes.
It was messy in Hongdae. But overall, like we never had issues getting into clubs, restaurants, bars, any of that, as foreigners or as women of color.
Well, that's good. And I think it's one of those things that it's like, no matter where you go, I feel like as a Black person, like it definitely depends on like everyone's experience isn't the same. So, it can very much well differ from time to time. Also, like you said, like around what happening in the world with COVID and everything, of course, it was like more strict. So yeah, I can definitely see that. But like Ebony, for you, like, would you rather visit Korea or Japan? Well, I guess Marie can answer too, like if you want to Japan or not. But yeah, sorry, Ebony, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. Actually, that's a hard one. Oh my god. I'm only gonna. I think I'll say Japan, and that's because I have seen, whether like on TikTok or YouTube, like a lot of like the interesting, like what's it called? Like cafes, like the shopping, the like host clubs, and I want to do all that. Like that sounds like a lot of fun. It just seems like there's a lot to do, and that makes me really want
to go. Yeah. What about you, Marie?
My only hesitation with Japan is I have tattoos. And so they are more strict with tattoos in Japan than they are in Korea.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is the only thing where I'm like, damn, because they are very strict with tattoos in Japan. Korea, they are strict for certain things, but they're getting better. Because I swear half their population is tattooed, face tattoos, everything. Like it's crazy. But Japan, like there are like very no tattoos, no nothing for a lot, not all of their places, but some of their places. So I'm just like, damn. Find me in Thailand though. That's where I'm gonna go.
Yeah. I only know two. Bam Bam and Lisa, right? From Thailand.
And I think Soren from CLC, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
CLC?
Yeah.
Girl group?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've heard of them, but didn't they just disband or something?
Was that? I want to say not last year, but the year before.
Right, because I think I see like one of the members. She's like on TikTok a lot. I've seen her like she has like big eyes. Like it doesn't really help, but I think I've seen her on TikTok before.
Blonde.
Yes.
That's her. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know she was Thailand. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of foreigners. Like some I would never know of, but like when I first, I'm pretty sure. No, when I first like got into 17, I was like, I thought Vernon was British. Like before he started talking, I'm like, this dude is British. Like
I can see it.
He looks like a villain. Like I don't know, he just looks like a UK.
Damn, he looks like a villain.
Yeah, like. But Joshua's English, oh my goodness, his English is so proper. Like, and he's from LA, right? LA. I know he's from the States, but his English is so proper. It's like from the from LA. But I know Eric from The Boys is also from LA, or he lived in LA.
Mm-hmm. LA.
A lot of LA boys around here.
Then we got Johnny. Johnny's will always have me fucked up because he did an interview and somebody was like, "Your English is so good," and he was just like, I'm from here," and Mark was just sitting there, just like the whole interview. I'm like, damn.
Didn't that happen to Eric? Nah, with Tom Holland when he was like,
yeah,
he's like, "I'm from here. I'm American." Like, what are you talking
American?
About? I am.
I'm
freshly new on Eric Nam, but I know like a lot of people enjoy him. I know I just like I see like little snippets of his podcast he has. And he seems very. Was it you? I don't think it was you. Never mind. I think because I've seen someone kind of like, when they're like, who would date like a plus size person or who would date like a Black woman? They say Eric Nam would be because he's from Georgia. I know he's from Georgia.
I don't know that.
Mm-hmm. Listen to his mindset, like thing of himself talking about his life story. Like he was like, I was the weird kid in Georgia bringing my kimchi into. I'm like, damn, I know you got dogged for all of that shit.
Being in the South, probably.
The fuck is that?
Oh. I guess we can just go into that, like a more fun topic of like, is there any idol that you feel would be comfortable or just like immediately be attracted to a foreigner? Because I see this all the time. I see different. Oh, who you?
BM, Matt from Card.
Oh yeah, I definitely see that.
I don't know him. What's his name?
And he'd be interested in big girls. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
What's his name?
BM from KARD Card. You'll see him.
Card.
Oh.
I know a little bit about Card. Oh. How old is he?
I just said oh.
Oh. Was that the one I was like, he got a deep voice? Was that him? Because I was like, I had listened to their comeback and I was like, who's like
yeah, probably.
Okay. I'm not even
he's the leader of the Big Titty Committee. Literally, he has a whole line of Big Titty Committee merch, and he gives that money back to breast cancer awareness and research and shit like that.
Oh,
I'm telling you, that's the dream man right there.
Who would you say, Ebony?
Maybe Mark from NCT.
I can see it.
I can't think of anyone right now.
I feel like he'd move back to the States and be like, all right.
Yeah, he probably would.
Where's he from?
LA?
I think so.
I can kind of see it. I know a lot of people say, crap, what's his name? RM.
Jim?
Girl, I just know RM. Monster. What, Rap Monster you said in the day?
Rap Monster. Rap Monster, yeah. That's a dark time that we try to forget. So he had the dreads.
Did he have? Because I would just remember when they was introducing their stuff in the debut, I'm like, Rap Monster, who? I know.
I'm gonna say everybody swore he was mixed. Everybody and their mama swore he was half black. People were saying he was Tupac's love child. Like there was a lot of shit that was going on when it came to June. But yes, I could see it. I'm gonna manifest that and let me be the four that he did. I'm not the Lulu, but I'm gonna be the Lulu for a minute.
Yes. Yeah. I say the same. I'll say I am. I feel like he's too. He a ladies man. Like he like the ladies. Maybe
I am that likes to sit naked playing video games.
When I first
I know too much about these groups.
When I first heard Rotate, I almost, because like I heard Mama Band, they were like, oh yeah, it's a nasty song, I'm like, what are you talking about? So I'm like, I finally decided to check it out. And so I'm looking at the lyrics, I'm like, okay, it's cute. And then he came in saying, what? I said, excuse you? Like, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, even with their other English releases, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, where are you getting this experience from? Let me because like, what are you doing your break time? You should be resting. You over here taking me to hotels, Motel 6. You got money. You're not taking me to no Motel 6. You're not.
All this money you got, and this is where we go.
Right. I'ma still go, but it's the point. We could afford better.
And this is what's funny to me when people like K-pop is for children. Bitch, where?
Oh.
Have you heard these lyrics? What fucking children are they talking to?
I just heard, I think it was last weekend, I just heard Na 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 by GOT7. Now I told you guys I was very new. Now at first I'm like, oh Na Na Na, it's gonna be like a little lullaby little thing. I said, what's happening? Who was whispering in my ear? Mark, what are you doing? It was just a lot to take in. Jackson, absolutely not. I would never allow that man to be my bias. I can't. I won't let it happen to me.
That man, that man. I got to meet him a few weeks ago. That's what I'm gonna say, that man. They came for a photo signing or an album thing because he was going to different states. So they had one in Boston. I get to meet Mark next week for the same shit too. And so they're like, yeah, you buy an album, you get to take a picture. Did I camp out to make sure I got that fucking album? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I thought because I didn't know much about them when I first got into them, and I just thought Bam Bam was so cute and so innocent. And then it's like when I first like get into a group, or I look at a group, I'm like, oh, he the innocent one, da da da. Why he be the worst one? He be one of the worst ones. Like, what is happening?
Have you seen that? Well, how do you know? How do you know it's big?
Yes, I think I did see that, and I said, please don't make me call your mama. Like, I don't know what's be going on with K-pop and idols, but y'all need to stop.
Nah, these men are hoes. These men are hoes, and they get away with it, and we don't do nothing. And they know we like it, so they do it worse.
Who's your bias in Stray Kids, or if Ebony who gets your attention and stuff?
I listen to Stray Kids like on and off. Probably Felix.
Felix.
Yeah.
Aww, a baby.
No, right? 2000 baby. What about you, Marie?
Chan.
I knew it.
That man and his thighs.
I knew it.
I can't. He fucked my ovaries up. He did a video with kids. I'm like, I don't need kids. He did a video with kids, and I'm just like, maybe I need kids. If
he be flirting on his little V Live. You better hope they don't take that away. He be flirting a lot.
They are. V Live is going away.
So what they gonna use it?
TikTok. He did a test on TikTok last week. He's like, I might need to try new things. So he did a TikTok one. But yeah, you heard his say please. Oh, beg, say please. Bitch, what?
I can't, because I haven't heard the new stuff, but I do remember, because it's like a long story, but like I'm like slowly like getting back into Stray Kids. But when him and Lino, something about driving, I said, Christopher, don't play with me. Don't play with why would you driving
It's about a car. It's about him driving in a car.
Like, sir, we grown. We know what you're talking about. We know what you're talking about.
And then him and Hyunjin and their new song and him choking. I'm like, what is this?
They know
what dominatrix bullshit. Oh, well, this was actually just pure lyrics. You can no.
And then you have ATs who enjoy it. They love that attention. They be up here grinding. Songwha, absolutely not. I don't know what's going on with you. San, we're not going just
San is the devil. San is the devil.
Who's your bias in ATs? I feel like I know, but I'm gonna want you to say.
I kind of want you to guess.
Hongjoon?
No.
Huh. Is it not San?
No.
Whoa. I know that
there's technically two. Who?
Yeosang?
No.
I knew, okay. Well, girl, I know it ain't Drunko. I knew
Damn, down the list. You ain't gonna guess it.
Because I'm like, nah, they too innocent for you. You like them. But I'm just like, is it Songwha?
Damn. It's interesting that you think he's innocent. Mingi.
Not Fix Song. Not Fix Song.
Mingi and Yunho by accident because of that fucking freaking drama. I need to stop cussing. Because of that freaking drama. And Mingi was gone. And I was like, dang. And Yunho decided to come up out of nowhere. And I'm like, I'm going to need you to go take a seat. And then I find out, realizing they're best friends. So he was like, I'll fill your spot until he gets back. And now they both, it's double.
So you like him tall. You like him tall. Okay, I feel you. I feel, okay.
I would like to climb.
What about you, Ebony?
Woo Young.
Girl.
The fact that it's IM really makes sense. It makes sense.
It makes sense. She likes to be tortured. Like that.
Yes.
I can't. And who was for God's favorite, Ebony? Who your bias?
Bam Bam.
Girl. Lock her up. because ma'am. No, we done talked about him. As long as it ain't Jackson, I'm cool, because Jackson is too much. I can't. That man should be illegal. Like, I can't even look at him right, because I had saw a video of him and Mark reading thirst tweets, and I almost went off on a gossip. I said, what is wrong with y'all? I'm calling all y'all mama.
Nah, but why did Jackson say, nah, go to work and come find me after? Sir, you're playing games and you're gonna win the stupid prize playing these games.
I said the audacity of this man to say, what? What is happening in that brain of yours? Like, he's on my side, and he wanted more. He's like, nah, what the good ones at? What is this? What are we doing right now?
I needed them to give him the ones that they gave Mark, because that last one they gave Mark, I sat there like,
not Mark. This is a Jackson. Y'all need to switch this around.
Yeah.
What was the last one? Oh, I'm not going to say as moisturizer for Mark. I said, Mossy. I said, not as moisturizer. We are not doing that.
Nah, that one got me fucked up because it said, let's make it sink in the room. I'm like, what are you talking about? What? Did you watch Wonho's then? Because they said, smash my head like a watermelon between your thighs. And he said, if you want it, I can try. I'm like, you can't be letting him and Jackson out here letting these Delulus live their best fantasies, because now they're like, he said, if I want it, he will try.
Who is an idol y'all would want to see read thirst tweets next?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I want to see NCT Mark, specifically because he's just so awkward, and when he flirts, it's so funny. So I know for a fact that he's gonna be a mess. I know he's gonna be a mess.
It'd be great. It'd be a great mess, though. Yeah, that's hard.
I'm trying to even think. It's like I don't want my innocent babies into foolishness, so I want innocent babies, but you know.
I think I'd want Honey to read them.
Oh God!
I want Juhan to read them.
That's another one who's gonna let the Lulus just go crazy.
And that's exactly why.
He's like, if you want it, you got it. Shut up, Juhan. What are you talking about? I'm not fooling with you today. I'm not. I'm trying to even think. I would want somebody from the boys to read them. Eric would let them live out their fantasies too. Eric is about their life. It'll be interesting to see Jacob do it, just because he's so like, he's kind of like Mark in that way, where he's like, I don't know why you want to do that, but you know, okay. Again, one of my innocent babies though, like he's too innocent for that. I don't know. I enjoy those a lot though. It's actually surprising that, because at first I'm like, I can't believe JYP let them do that. I'm like, oh yeah, they're not with him no more.
Right?
Nope. And that's why.
But IM isn't with Starship anymore, so he can kind of do some more spicy.
Oh my God.
I'm honestly surprised. I knew IM was gonna leave. I thought Honey was gonna leave with him.
Same.
I was waiting. He waited till the last minute to be like, nah, I'ma stay.
Right. They must have offered something, a little extra, because well, I'm saying, because like I really thought he was gonna leave too, and it's nice. It's as long as they're happy, that I don't really care. But it's just like one of those things where I'm just like, it is taking a minute, and I was scared because I'm like, no, another member can't leave on sex. Like they can't. Like I can't take that. So especially like I'm a mother now. Like I can't take that. So like Shonu was still gonna. We're not doing this. Like so y'all please stay together. So as long as they're happy, I don't care. But yeah, I want to see more spicy.
See, I always get concerned when members leave, but Mama Moo, Solar left. Technically, she left the company, but they just had to come back with her in it. So I was like, so y'all do this. Y'all come back. You will actually come back. So I'm like, cool. I'm a wait. I'm gonna expect to see you at the Monster X comeback.
Right.
We're not playing these games.
Kihyun has a comeback coming. I'm like very nervous and excited at the same time.
His voice is just
my God.
Hearing that live was insane.
It was.
That he wrecked my bias for sure. It also helps that we share the same birthday. So I'm like, yeah, like I knew this was cool. Do you guys share a birthday with any idols, or like of? I mean, so many. Like, there's you guys bound to like share a birthday. When is your birthday? I'll look it up.
May 26th. I think Yeji from ITZY. I want to say I think hers is May 26th, and then Soleyoon, I think that's her name, from NMIX. I think she has the same birthday too.
Let's see. I'm a New Year's baby.
Really? January 1st?
Yes. Oh, DPR. DPR, we gang.
I've heard of them. Again, I hear the names of many groups and stuff. It's just like, oh gosh, it's so many. Like I get overwhelmed.
DPR is hip hop rap. I'm gonna need you to go listen to them though. DPR is like the whole company. DPR Live is like the main person. DPR Ian though.
So
DPR
fun.
Ian.
Okay,
You see him.
I've heard Mr. Ozzy. Mr. Ozzy.
Yes. Our short king. Because he's only like 5'8". 5'8" with 6'2" energy.
5'8"? 5'8" is tall because Hungjun is what? Hungjun is like 5. He might be 5'8". But maybe my baby is short though.
That's my height, so that's why when I'm a 5'8", you average. But
you're 5'8".
I'm 5'8", 5'9", somewhere in between.
How are you, Ebony?
5'6".
How tall are you?
I'm like 6 foot.
Really?
All right.
So it's like hard for me to find like tall items.
So SF9, that's why you like them, because they all freaking 6 foot up.
Those are my model babes right there. Okay, handsome, tall, the voices, yeah, those are my model babes right there.
That's where you find. And TXT is another group of little giants. I don't know why they all so tall. They make BTS look like midgets.
It's just they're so young, but they are. I was like surprised to like see how tall they were. Cause who's the tallest? Is it Subin? Is Subin the tallest? I think Subin might be the tallest.
I think he might be.
I think Taeyong, he's the shortest. But
yeah, they're all. If you've seen the company pictures with BTS and them, is BTS and then TXT, and they're just. I was like, that's embarrassing, y'all. I'm sorry.
I know we. So, does anyone actually like stan girl groups or like more casual listeners? I know where you said Mamamoo.
I do. Let me think. Blackpink, Red Velvet, Twice. Starting to stan Stacy. That's it off the top of my head.
See, I used to heard one song, maybe 2 songs from Stacy, but like the end of last year, and it was like ASAP. I like that song. I can't sing for nothing, but that was cute little song. I said, okay, Stacy, I see you. But and their members are like really not. I didn't know they were that young. I think Jay may have been the youngest. I think
she's 16, 17.
Can we talk about that? Like, how do y'all feel about like minors like debuting in K-pop? Like,
I personally don't like it. I mean, obviously I can't do anything about it, but I would prefer for them to be adults, honestly. It's a lot that goes on in the industry. So I really feel bad for them when they debut so young. I really do.
Yeah, like New Jeans. I think
oh, yeah.
They're young.
They are.
They're babies.
I think the youngest 13, 14.
13 or 14. Yeah, something like that. And I'm like, that's a lot of their childhood that's going to be going to this. I think there should be like an age limit. Like, I feel like 16, 17 is a good age to maybe debut, but anything younger than that it's a lot. Like, there's a lot of the developmental stages where it's like, oh, I'm going to be a star, but you might not make it, and now you wasted your whole childhood trying for something. But yeah, no, that young, that's weird to me. I can't. Like, I get it, they're young singers, but like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Not to mention like the older, like I've like seen people say like there's like older creeps that go to like the fan sightings and stuff like that when they get autograph from a 13-year-old. Sir, like what?
Right.
So in Korea, when it comes to these concerts, the girl group concerts are 90% men. Which, if you're a girl going to these concerts, like my friend went to a concert and she was like, guys were telling me like, why are you there? Why are you here?
What?
Really?
And they were asking her, why are you here? Like, and she's like, I'm here for the show. But like, if you go and listen after this, go and listen to like a concert in Korea for one of the girl groups, and you'll hear the sound. It's mainly men chanting because it's weird. It's a little weird. Mamamoo is the only exception to that, and I honestly think it's because they turned everybody gay, so that's where they got a ridiculous amount of women. But all these other girl groups is mainly men.
I'll add Dreamcatcher to that as well about the mainly, I'll add them to that too. But it is definitely weird. Because it's just it even also reminds me of a story I heard about like an old like Disney star, Nickelodeon star, where she was like, yeah, like when we used to do like fan signing stuff, a lot of male, like grown men would be there. But they're teenagers. What do you want with a teenager? But like it's just disgusting. I don't know. And I've heard of new jeans of being like very young. But it's I even they're also very young, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think the youngest is 15. I think 15.
Yeah, I just think it's a lot on them because like even when I see comments about them and about like their appearance, I'm just like, dude, they're like they haven't even hit puberty yet. What do you want them to do? Like I don't know, it's just so weird.
Mm-hmm. And then the diets that they have them on, like they're growing, but like they barely eat anything. They're working out all day. Yeah. Like it's not healthy.
And I seen like a video saying that that's like a whole other issue. I hate like the whole weight thing because it's just like when what's her name? Momo from Twice. And like there was like they were saying how like yeah, she was on a diet where she ate like an ice cube or something.
Yeah, heard that.
And I'm just like
and
Momo?
The potato diet. Have you heard of that one? Where it's literally eating a sweet potato a day. That's all you get. You might get 2 sweet potatoes, but
I ain't gonna make it. They might kick me out doing training. They're like, no, girl, you gotta go. Like, I'm not about that life. Like, I can't do all that.
That's what when you watch the like their shows when they go on, you realize all their prizes are always food.
Yeah.
And like they are fighting for this food.
They get crazy. I'm like, feed my babies, especially when I see ATs do that. I said, feed my men. They deserve it. Get them some food, please. They over here going crazy. They biting each other at this point. Just get them some food, like
just to get some damn food, to get some fucking dollar ramen. Like it's like that's it.
And it's like I get like the whole Korean beauty standard, but honey, like I hate seeing it. I hate when I see like they're fat shaming these idols, and it's just like. Do you know how much pressure they're under, like every single day?
Right.
Like on one hand, they look nice, don't look like they're like, don't gain any more weight. Well, that's gonna be kind of hard because like different things happen. Now you've seen on Eric's podcast, I think the female, I don't know the female name, but
was it Jamie or the other one?
Maybe Jamie. I don't think they said her name. I just like heard her say how I think she said like her period stopped or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the diet or what, but that like scared me too because I'm like I didn't think that could happen like unless we did.
It's a common thing for like gymnasts because of how much they're working out and all that training on their body so young. It'll do that to them too, where they won't have their periods or they won't get their periods till like 16, 17, which is not healthy for us. But because they're going through the same type of treatment but not eating, their whole body just shifts because they no longer have that right cycle or the nutrients they need. It's honestly messed up. Yeah.
And I know yesterday the lady I was talking to, she was saying how companies can be very controlling to the point where idols aren't even in control of anything they can do. Like because I've even seen videos where it's like they can't have their phone until they win an award. What?
That's crazy.
Like, and it's like I understand they have a schedule and they're very busy, but when I heard Peniel talk about he hasn't seen his family in like years, I like that we're like been to like American so long. I'm just like, that's crazy. Like to me, they work so hard and they go on holiday. I feel like they should really go on holiday versus having to film a holiday special, this, that, and the third. Like, dang, like, they're constantly busy. That it's just. It makes it hard for me to enjoy so much because they're just doing so much all the time.
Do you realize though, a lot of the time, especially when they start, they're not making money for years.
Yeah.
Like even though it's like, oh, they sold hella albums, they did all this, they're not making money because all the money that's going to that's going back to the company because they're paying back whatever their training is or their schooling, like they're paying back everything. So it's like, oh, like this group did really, really good. They should be making all this money, but they're not because the company gets most of it.
It's like the opposite for American artists. You know, they get those loans and they do this, that, and the third, and then they be mad because years later they got to pay this back. Like, yeah, you do got to pay that back. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's very, when I first got into K-pop, a lot of this was so new to me and like so like weird to kind of adjust to. So like, was there anything that really stood out to you guys when you first got into K-pop that was like, wow, I can't believe that's like a thing?
For me, it was like the position. So you know how like someone could be like the main rapper, the lead singer, and then I'll never forget seeing visual. I'm like, so there's a title just for being like the pretty one in the group. And my mom did not comprehend that like looks really matter in the industry, because I'm like, there's a whole like role just for someone to be pretty, and that was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Shipping was weird for me. I was like, so they're not dating? Like you guys just like, oh no, we just shipped them together. I'm like, why? That got me fucked up because like there was Markson, then there was Mark Young, and then I'm just like, so what you're telling me though at the end of the day is they're not dating? They're like, no. Then why do you guys have all these videos telling me that they are?
Skinship was a interesting thing, like because like from American artists, you know, American artists, they be doing all of that, whether the groups or not. And so that like the shipping wasn't new for me, but it was like the skinship that I've seen. And I'm just all right, let's calm down a little bit. Yeah. Like there's some fans, y'all know, some fans that just go a little too far. And yeah, so that was very new for me.
Especially there, since like men have no issue showing affection, touching, hugging, all of that. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that gay stuff here. Don't touch me. We don't even pretend that. Stay 5 feet away from me. Like I'm like, yeah, y'all okay?
With the female groups that do that, I'd be like, what's happening? Like,
nah. Sometimes they be taking things real far, and I'm like, I get it, but like I am gay. I am a homosexual, and you are doing homosexual things. So I have questions.
And yeah, they be having, you know, other people question, you know, because I'd be like, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Do you guys have like a girl crush, like idol?
Mundio.
I knew it.
They just had a new music video.
She went live. I'm gonna check that out later. But she had went live. They went live, and I think someone's like, Mundio, will you marry me? She's like, no, sorry.
She has no issue turning people down now.
What about you, Ebony? I mean, you got a lot of choices, girl. You got Red Velvet, Twice. Girl, you Blackpink, girl. You just got a lot of choices over there.
I was gonna say Irene, actually.
Ooh,
I get it because I'm so new to Red Velvet. I get them mixed up, but I think that's what I'd be looking at me a lot. I'd be like, "What are you looking at, girl?" Red Velvet. Irene.
If you want to go for one that's not in the group, IU. She's also my drama boo.
Oh yeah.
IU.
I think that is what I'd be looking at me. Okay, you said IU. Let's see. Oh gosh, girl.
She's the complete opposite of Moonbyul.
Yeah, she is. Look at these pictures. Yeah, she is. She looks so
complete opposite. Complete opposite.
I feel like my subscribers already know, but Tommy from Dreamcatcher. Okay, girl, I need you to calm down. I need you to calm down a bit, right? She be looking at me all the time. I'm scared to look at the comment. I gotta do it today, but I'm so scared because I know because she's blonde now, and I'm like, excuse you, like, are we?
I like the way when you said she be looking at me. She be looking at me because like, I feel it.
I get it. Like I get it, but like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, we're not doing that today. Okay, I'll send you guys one last link, and then we'll end the chat. Girl, I just don't want to pay for. I don't want to pay for this premium, but it's okay. I'm gonna send you the link.
There's another site you can use called Zencaster, where it'll actually record all of our videos separately. Only issues if people calling on their phone. But if they use computers, it'll do the same thing, and there's no time limit.
What is it called? Let me see if I can.
Zencaster. If they're calling on their phone, it doesn't work though, so that's the only like downside to it.
Is anyone using a phone?
I am.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's only
That's okay. We
but
can
for future ones for you.
yeah, okay. So I'll send y'all one more link and then I am like so hot. I think it's all these topics we're talking about over here, like wanting to calm down.
We're jumping one to one.
And it's crazy because like I would love to use my phone because like it has better like quality, but it doesn't let me like record it unless I'm using my laptop and like
oh,
camera's crappy.
dang, yeah.
I don't think not yet. But yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know you like stay in that many girl groups.
Yeah.
And it's not that I like don't want to stay in girl groups. It's just like I don't know. Like I'm just more into boy groups at the moment.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I of course I've heard of Red Velvet and Twice choreo like really surprised me. I'm like, okay, I see y'all like, got some dancers here.
Right.
Did you like their comeback? But they did have a comeback.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did. Only thing I wish is that their title track was Talk That Talk. It's another song on the album. What's it called? Trouble. I think they should have did that one. I think it would have just like suited them so much better than Talk That Talk.
And I'm like debating if I want to watch Blackpink just because like I don't want Blinks going crazy in my channel just in case I don't like it. But because I've heard like a little, of course, from TikTok, the edits and stuff. I've heard a little bit of Pink Venom.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just a little snippet. So that's probably, but it's just so repetitive at least what I've heard. So it might have to. I don't know yet.
It's funny because you're 100% right. Like I still like it, but I went in already kind of expecting it to be kind of like that from the jump anyway.
But I've also heard like the edits of Shutdown, and I feel like I'm gonna like Shutdown better than Pink Venom.
Oh yeah. That one's way better.
Yeah. But like Pink Venom wasn't their title, right?
I don't think it was. I think it was what's it called? I think it was Shutdown.
Yeah. So it's like I feel like they kind of tested the water. They probably tested the waters with Pink Venom, and like people didn't like it. They was like, "We're gonna switch it to Shutdown." And they was like, "We're gonna reverse this real quick."
Right.
People ain't wait 2 years for y'all to flop. We're gonna do this again. And I honestly don't think Blackpink will ever flop. I don't think they'll ever like.
No.
They're too big now. Like
they are.
What they do, they're too big now. So
they really are.
Same thing with BTS. Like they'll never flop.
No.
Yeah.
They're kicking me out. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
Won't she do me?
She can join too.
She said you could join too.
Yeah, she done already kicked me out. My feelings is already hurt.
We were just talking about some of the girl groups. Is there a girl group? Well, I feel like you're gonna say Mamamoo, but like, is there a girl group that you would like to see at concert?
Actually, besides Mamamoo, Dreamcatcher or Luna.
I've heard of Luna.
Luna's really good. I just want to go to Dreamcatcher and have their light stick because I want a staff.
Oh, I love their light stick a lot.
They have to have definitely top 5 light stick. Like they light sticks are because it comes different. Like it's like this stand.
Yeah.
It's like little candle looking one. I'm like, okay, Dreamcatcher, let's go.
I saw somebody hook up 5 of them and walk through the thing with a huge ass staff, and I'm like, I want that. I want that.
What about you, Ebony?
It would be Blackpink. It really would. I like how.
Are you going to the concert?
No, I wish.
Are they not needing
tickets? I was at work when tickets went on sale, and so for me, they went on sale at 10, and then I went on break at 11:30. And I was like, I'm forgetting something, right? And I'm like, tickets are on sale, and I went to look, and they were gone. They were already gone.
I mean, I would say, wait, where are you located?
I'm in Michigan, so I'd have to do
Oh,
Chicago.
so you have to be a mission. So I'm gonna say you can try the day before or the day of if you decide to I'm gonna make the trip.
Yeah,
because that's the easiest way to get those tickets. I'm gonna tell you now. That's the hustle because people are trying to get rid of them. But they were selling nosebleed seats for $450.
That's ridiculous.
And I was like,
Blinks, get it together.
Right.
Their prices for those tickets are just insane anyway. So I'm gonna go see ATs. And my friend just went and saw NTT, and we got suites because if we don't, we're bad and bougie at this point in life. And if we cannot get front row, we're getting a suite because then we got food, our own private interest, whatever. Our tickets for that were $225 a person for the suite. So our other suite is 40 people, $9,000. For 40 people, it was $9,000 to split. For Blackpink, it was $10,000 for 16 people. I'm like,
that's
excuse me?
Blackpink in your area for real, because they said they getting all the money.
Yeah, they said we ain't playing. I was like, you mean for the whole suite? They're like, nah, for a small one. I'm like, no, that's not what you mean.
Oh my god,
we're not playing that.
I feel like YG maybe be doing that because they're trying to make up for the 2 years they weren't active or something. Because I've seen some of the prices for it as well. I'm like, besides it being Blackpink and being so big, I also feel like, come on now, like I feel like that's even more because you're gonna sell out. So to me, it's not really a need to make them so expensive, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, he could have done stops in different places. He could have also given them attention these last 2 years and let them put out actual music instead of hiding them in the basement like he does. I'm not even the Blackpink stan, and I'm like, damn, there's justice for Blackpink. Because no.
Right, like I'm not a blank, but like Blackpink, they definitely have like good music. And they were like the first girl group that I like really listened to when I first, of course, got into K-pop. And it was just, I didn't even know because they were on a hiatus, well, not hiatus, but like they weren't active at that point, but I didn't know. So I'm just like, okay, yes. And I'm like, what are you at though? Because like, what are you at? They're like, oh yeah, like they don't. And I seen something, and don't know how Blink's gonna take this. I didn't say it, but I seen it. And I thought it was an interesting conversation where it was saying how if a group with a smaller company did what Blackpink did, would like not be active for 2 years, they wouldn't make it. But because Blackpink is who Blackpink is, they made it like those 2 years without having to like put out much.
I'm gonna say, and Blinks, please don't attack me for this. If Blackpink broke up, I think it would be the best thing for them so they could all do their solo work because YG does not give them the attention as a group, but their solo work is great. So might as well let them do solo work.
We were still waiting for Jisoo.
That's true. Yeah, she's had her.
That's the one they waiting for. I'm like, where you at, boo?
Right.
That's my girl. Where you at?
And she out here making her own music. She writing her own stuff.
Right.
I'm telling you, YG does not deserve them. Does not deserve the group because he just like, all right, cool. Y'all are big. I had all these other groups. I'm gonna let y'all just chill.
And it's only girl groups that they do this with every time.
You saw how they did CL. She found out her group broke up on the news. She found out when media found out.
That was horrible.
And that's my girl. I'm not CL. Yeah, I was like, I heard her song. I said, oh, okay. I see how it is, and I like that. Right. Keep that up. And so, like, it's interesting because I didn't know because she like went to some fashion show earlier this, or was it? She just went to some fancy thing in the States earlier this year, and I had seen her, and I'm like, I didn't know she was this like out here in America, like doing her thing. I'm like, okay. Like, I wish other groups would do that, because even with SF9, like, they could really be big here. Like, those are model bays. They could be big here, but like their company does not push them here. And I think they're doing better with P1 Harmony because I've seen a lot more English interviews with P1 Harmony. But like, when it comes to SF9, like, and I get it because InSong was like the main one speaking English, but it doesn't mean that they can't do interviews here. Especially, this is like their tour. We've been waiting for this for I don't know how long. And they only go into like the same old states. I'm grateful, but oh my gosh.
They did them dirty this weekend, even though I'm gonna say the company that I will not name that is throwing this event that I will not name, that's taking place in a state that I will not name, did them dirty because they were supposed to expand everybody's set because of artists not coming for the day one of the event. They did not extend P1 Harmonies though. They only gave them 30 minutes, but they gave the groups that were performing on Sunday and it happened to also be filling in on Saturday, they gave them more time than they gave P1 Harmonies only performing the one day.
Girl, I'm not even.
So I'm not naming who, what, when, where, or why, but I am saying again, P1 Harmony got played when they can have a whole hour set. They could have had a whole concert, honestly. They could have had a whole hour set, and they still only gave them 30 minutes. They gave them less than the people who were filling in.
You know, Kiko gonna throw shade when he go live. I love when he do that. I'd be like, yeah, Kiko, do what you gotta do, boo. I can't stand like. I'm not surprised though. Like I'm really just how they handle SF9. I'm just like, where? And I'm not gonna swear, but where is Raoul? He is a part of SF9, and this man has been absent for I don't know how. Okay, I get it. He's an actor. I do, but they all of them act. So why is it that you just this man is in a group that we don't see no more? You're having a tour. He not in the tour. He had a comeback. He wasn't in a comeback. So what do you? I'm confused, and I'm so like it's like so frustrating because it's just like we already got 2 in military. JU is going to go soon. So it's just like, you wouldn't think, it's not SF9 no more. I don't know what it is. At this point, like, just let them do their solo stuff. Because I can't. I can't. Like, some of the management with these groups, some fans would be better off managing them. Because it's just,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Same thing with the bodyguard. So y'all doing, some of y'all look too lenient. Let me handle it.
Let me go body people. I have no issues. I will body a woman. I play basketball. I did flag football. I will body somebody and be like, oh, my bad. Continue on.
I seen how they did Baby Bread. I forgot what trick is. I think it was earlier this year. And I said, hold on. Hold on now. Hold on. Like, it's not even just because I'm so protective of the McNays. It's the fact that y'all was so close to him that y'all not about knocking him down. Like, what are you doing, Stace? Let's calm down.
And he already has anxiety and all this. And y'all going, nah, see, I would have accidentally started swinging on people. But oh, my bad. I was just trying to clear the way. But if you happen to get hit, it seems like you were too close.
Yeah. And I seen, I don't know if y'all, I know y'all did, and it may have been NCT, I do not know. But when I say this bodyguard went in, he slammed this, he like pushed her across the road. And I said, that's how you do it, homie. That's how you do it. I don't know what she did, but she was too close. Because big man, he had it. He had it handled. And I said, that's what the bodyguard need to be. But it's like, I don't see that, at least for me, I don't see that same like craziness for girl groups. And maybe it is, I just like, I see it more for boy groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's mostly for boy groups, but you also have to think about the fan base that is doing it. Not the fandom, but like the fan base. It's more the women who are like, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna try to hurt them, so I'm a woman. They're not gonna do anything. But a man's like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and stay back because if I get too close, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Freak is gonna happen. I stop cussing. But nah, you're right. And also though, it's mainly in Korea and other countries where they get mobbed. Do they get mobbed in the US? Like, there's a lot of people there, but we don't really mob people. But these other countries, especially, they be mobbing.
They take it to the train, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was illegal. And because I'm just like, because they're so strict over that, I thought like the whole mobbing thing was illegal. Like even waiting for them at the airport, I thought that was illegal. So
no, they tell them the times. Like there's like a whole thing where people know exactly when they're coming because press is supposed to be there to take pictures. That's why they all like they'll line up to take their pictures when they come in. Like it's weird.
Like yeah, it is. I don't like that. Like I want because if it was me, I want my privacy. Y'all ain't about to take pictures of me getting off the plane. Like just let me go in my car and go where I gotta go. Like, it's weird. It's like, and even when I see like when I first got into K-pop, I'm like, I've seen some idols, I'm like, why do they look so sad? And it's just like, they're on camera all the time. Like they have to try to pretend they're okay all the time. They have to smile for this and the third. That's just too much for me. I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't survive as an idol. So like when like some situations like come up, I try to be understanding of that because they are under so much pressure and they go through so much that it's just like, if I were in their shoes, I would make it. Like the first day I'd be fired debut day. Like this thing would happen.
Honestly, on that, but I need the idol. I'm still waiting for there's one group, I can't remember what group it was though, where they're like, all right, I'm gonna need y'all to stop. Like they had no issue. Icon had no issue checking their fans. GOT7 had no issue checking their fans. I'm gonna need one of these idols to be like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and say this nicely. Shut the all right. Leave us alone. Cause I'd be like, that's my group right there. I don't care what group it is. because it's real. I don't need you to pretend to be happy all the time because that's robotic. That's not real. We're not happy all the time. Cuss somebody out. Cuss us out, and I'm not gonna sit there and be mad because guess what? They probably deserved it.
Do what you gotta do, boo. We support you. I feel like Wooyoung he's like the most like outspoken one in ATs. Like he's not afraid to be like, y'all, even when I think because like they'd be giving some fans a little too much freedom. I think they kept texting Jungkook, and when they were like doing a live, they kept texting him, and he was like, okay, like you see that we're busy, like, you know, stop texting him. And Jungkook was like, I was gonna say that, but like, he didn't want to say that. Oh yeah, I'm like, I got you. Like I'm gonna say it for you. Because and it's like they give, and I've like heard someone say that the reason a lot of Korean fans are so crazy is because that the whole boyfriend experience that they give them makes them feel more comfortable to be like, you know, I texted you and like, you know, let's hold hands and stuff like that. I don't know, but that's just how they were kind of explaining it. And I was just like, I don't know. It's a lot, but to me, Korean fans get more stuff. So for y'all to be more crazy, I feel like I need to calm down.
But it also depends on the fan base though. Cause like, I don't know, do you know the group VIX?
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
All right. Starlights are the most respectful fandom I have ever seen. When I say that they will come out into the crowd, into the audience, they will just sit there, just laugh. If they come out walking through, they will make a path so they could walk.
Wow.
Like, I'm just like, I have never seen, and I don't know what y'all did to get them like this. They will come out, do high fives with them in the audience, like just walk through, see them in the street, wait, like they're just super everything. I'm like, I don't know what mind control, but they also have the slave contract and the vibrating light stick. So I guess, I mean, that's not here nor there. But yeah, no. So it depends because some of these people are just delulu and crazy. And I want to know how they keep getting their information though. Like, who are they paying to get their cell phone numbers, to get their addresses, their flight information? Like, who are you paying for this?
And we talked a little bit about that yesterday. And because I remember, I think it was the same Eric, his podcast where they were saying how I think Peniel was like, a lot of the stylists and stuff, the ones that closest to them are the ones that leak some of that stuff out. Whether they get fired or something like that, they're the ones that be leaking some of that stuff out. And I said, no. See, again, I couldn't do it. See, I couldn't do it. Like, it's being so personal. It's like, but that's not their business. And there was even a clip of, I don't know what group, but he supposedly was talking trash about some of the fans and how supposedly they breath stank. I don't know. But I was just kind of taken back. Like that to me felt more of a friend that like leaked that stuff out. Like, to me, it'd be hard to even trust anybody as being an idol, like to have like a personal life besides your members that you can like really tell stuff to, because I dare you to leak my audios. What's wrong with you? That's between me and you. Like, that fan was breakfast thing. I'm sorry. Like,
don't they sign NDAs and all that shit? Like, I'd be suing people left and right. Like, here is your lawsuit. Here is your lawsuit. Oh, you sent that. Here is your lawsuit as well. Like, is that not a thing there?
Right. I mean, it couldn't be me. I'm confused. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It was on TikTok. This girl, she was like, she slept with an idol. Did you guys see that video?
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't.
It couldn't have been me telling my business, because that's how they do not come back. No one, you ain't gonna sleep with nobody again. Like,
she was like, she didn't know that he was an idol at first, or like at first glance, and then like she saw him like, I guess on television or something like later on. She was like, oh yeah, like I slept with him before. And I'm like, you told this much, I need you to spill a name at this point. I'm sorry. I now I want to know. Cause like, who are you talking about? And she was like, she met him at like some party or something like that. I'm like, girl, you wouldn't hear nothing from me. I even say that.
No.
Listen, I would tell nobody needs to know. Like, call me. No one's gonna know.
What are you going to career for? Oh, I got work there. Right. Who are you meeting? Nobody. Nope, nothing. All right. You won't even know my name. Shit, you won't know nothing. You just dropping the bag, like you ruining the blessings that you're getting. Like, how are you just being like, nah?
That could be your constant hookup. Like, come on now, She was like, I don't know if I still have his number or not. Should I text him or not? Girl, don't play with me. Like,
too late now.
That's not a question of mine. I don't need to ask anybody. It's going to happen.
Right.
we'll be bumping. I think we ran into somebody from BAP, I think, in the club when we were in 2019, and we're just like, oh, you just chilling in the club. Bet. All right, cool. Have your fun. Ain't saying nothing, and you leave, and that's how you do it. You say nothing and you leave.
And I'm just like, even when it comes to that, like, I would think, I don't care if it is a one night stand, I would think NDAs would have to be signed. Like, you don't know what this person in, like, no matter how like beautiful they are, you don't know what they're about to do. Like, or they purposely put themselves in a position to be chosen, and you over here getting stuck, and now it's about to be a room where you better hit out your work. Like, I don't know.
This would be me. Oh, so you want to? Okay, cool. Here's the pen. So go ahead and sign this. All right, then you good? All right, cool. Now we could talk. Like, I'd be prepared. I got my own NDA for you to sign. Here you go. I got you. I'll send you a copy.
Couldn't be me. But they I think they always talk about like the player of each group and like who's a player of each group and stuff like that. But it's just like, I don't think a lot of people understand, like, a lot of these people are young, they're handsome, and they want to have fun. Like, it doesn't really, I don't know why they always turn into like slut shaming at this point. Like, girl, because he dated more than one person. Girl, so he dated. That is,
wait, you mean they're not 28-year-old virgins? I thought they were pure. My bad. So I don't think they've ever actually like done that, right? They're kids.
Not Month's ex. They've never even thought about it. What you guys are talking about.
No.
Yeah, like,
that would never cross IM's mind. Like, that's the furthest thing away from his mind.
Even when I like hear some songs and they'll be like, yeah, it's for the fandom. Then I hear the song and I'm like, please don't start with me. Like, I don't want you to, why are you doing this to me? Like,
that's what you want to do to the fandom? That's what you're saying? Got it. I'll meet you at the Motel 6.
It's such a meaningful song for our fans. Okay, sure. Anything you say, babe. I'm following your
Don't look into the lyrics too much. Just take them for face value. Okay.
I even recently found out June from 17. I thought that was my innocent baby. And then I saw Limbo and I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? What are you wearing? What is happening? Like, I was shook. I was like, not June. Not my baby June. No. I'm tired of these innocent looking ones that just, they turn bad. Like, I don't get it.
They turn bad.
Yeah, like even with TXT, I'm like, my Byungkyu, I call him Baby Bear. I don't know what they was doing from this comeback, but I didn't appreciate that at all. I'm like, why he looking like that? Like, hold on now. Like, I understand, but hold on now. Let's calm down. It's like, I enjoy, like, I know there's like a few comebacks coming, but there has already been like a lot of comebacks. Is there like a favorite comeback you guys have enjoyed so far? It's been a lot, I know.
I liked oh my gosh, what's their name? It's not a group I stan. I think it's like WJSN. Like,
oh yeah,
Super Yuppers. Love that. I love that a lot.
There's a Twice song, and I can't think of what one of those.
Is it Talk That?
It was one of their, huh?
Is it Talk That Talk? I think.
I think so.
It's like a lot of edits and stuff. I hear it all the time.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I enjoy.
I like that one.
Is there any like comeback that surprised you guys from maybe groups that you stand, like anything that surprised you?
Honestly, Stray Kids is 143. I wasn't expecting a cutesy love song. Like, that is their aesthetic. I get it. They've done it before, but that video, it wasn't so much that video was a shroom session waiting to happen that I was not expecting. Have you watched the 143 video?
I haven't.
Me either, not yet.
No. Okay, so you'll see what happens in it. There's a part in it where I'm watching, I'm like, hold on, what just fucking happened? And like, I was really confused. It's a good video, but you'll see it when you watch it, where the aesthetic of it is very cutesy, which is different than kind of what they've been doing with their Maniac and all their other stuff. But there's just one specific part with IN, and it throws me off, not in a bad way, but like I had to rewatch the video to make sure it didn't actually do what it, you'll understand when you see it.
Oh gosh. I don't think I'm watching Mamamoo and Dreamcatchers come back later, so I'm nervous about that. I've just heard so many things about Vision that I'm really scared. But so we'll see. I don't know. I'm happy that Dreamcatcher had to come back. But even earlier this year with Mason, I think that like surprised me. So yeah. And then of course AT's Gorilla, like where's like emo. I was waiting for emo era. Like I'm waiting. I'm like, thank you. It's beautiful. Even with Wano, like from the thumbnail of his comeback, it looks rock.
It does. It kind of does.
I need to watch that.
Yeah.
That's on my list.
Because that man right there, I do feel like sometimes that people kind of overlook his talent because of his looks. And I'm just like, I get it, guys. He's very handsome. The abs, beautiful, everything, but he is talented. Yeah, I don't know. It always feels like, okay, let's calm down a little bit.
He's one that throws me off because I would think he's a rapper by his aesthetic sometimes. And then when he sings, I'm like, oh God. Oh God, yes.
It's the same with Shonu. Like I thought because the first thing I watched was their interview, and I thought Shonu was the rapper. I'm like, oh, look at this man. Okay, I see you. And his beautiful voice. I'm like, huh? I was taken back. I was like, oh, not this voice from this body. Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when I found out the rap line was actually the Matinee line, I'm like, oh gosh.
I know, that was surprising.
Yes. Did you guys watch their show to make Monster X? I can't remember what it's called, but their survival show.
No exit. No, I've seen clips and I can't.
Okay, that's sad. I'm gonna say with that one. So if you decide not to watch it. When you get through that one, I wasn't part of the original start of that.
Yeah,
they were so mad. We're like, where is he coming from? We just eliminated someone, and you just gonna let him come in like this?
And that's yeah, and that was like one of the first things, like when I was like really started getting into them, and I seen those clips, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like they were that mad wasn't even the word. I think they were off the everybody. I'm like, not Shonu over there look like he about to punch him in the face. Like, oh my gosh.
It was so aggressive. But like, and watching them now, I'm like, see, y'all wouldn't think you hated him when he came.
Especially Minhyuk. I don't know. That was so emotional. I can't watch those shows, even like Stray Kids. Like I only see like the few clips. I can't watch the whole thing because but they've come so far, of course. But like looking back of how like much IN had to go through, like I don't know, it was so much. I don't like survival shows. Like it's too emotional.
Yeah, it's a lot. And you start liking somebody and then they get eliminated and you're just like, I don't want to watch this no more.
Like I feel like it's more intense than our like, what is it, like America's Got Talent or stuff like that, because they don't really live together and stuff like that. Oh yeah, they do, but they don't like show that a lot.
Yeah, and they're not making like, they're doing solo stuff, so it's like they're trying to help themselves, whereas these other ones, like they're trying to make a group, so it's like, oh, I have my best friend, we're gonna make it together. No, we're not.
Well, even like I just like always like say like Fifth Harmony, like even One Direction, like they came in soloist and they were forced to be in the group. So it's like looking back, like knowing they didn't have any fun and stuff like that. Well, dang, I didn't know that. Versus like Korea and like K-pop, they go in kind of expecting it to either be like a duo or a group or something, which is like being like strictly solo. So I do enjoy that about K-pop, where they are whether they're very friendly to each other or not, because like of course I've seen things where like they're not really friends, but I do enjoy that they take it serious. Like they did so much training that they do deserve that, I guess, like first win. Because like when I see those, I get it, like it is emotional, but like they really cry, like they bawl when they win. And it just feels so nice, especially like when you stand in a group because you're like, you worked so hard for this, like you're like crying with them. It's like such an emotional ride. Is there any like first win that surprised you guys, or like you're like finally they got their first win, but you were surprised like with the song that you got their first win with? If that makes sense.
There was one, and I actually just talked about it like on a video I did. EXID, when Honey's fan cam went viral, I'll never forget because I was like, oh my God, they're not going to make it. They're going to disband because they weren't really popular. That after that fan cam, that really like blew up the group to be like one of the bigger groups of, I think third gen. I think they're third gen. To be one of the biggest groups of that time. And I just think like if that fan cam wouldn't have happened, they probably would have disbanded and wouldn't even be a group. And to think that they re-promoted that song to have and then had their first win was insane.
Wow.
I honestly don't pay attention to wins. I'm gonna go ahead and be real about that, which I probably should, but I feel like these award shows happen all the time, and it's what starts the fan wars. And I'm just like, I just will support them in their music and go to their concerts and give them my money.
Do you guys watch like those like programs like Queendom or Kingdom?
Oh yes,
I actually don't. Are they really good?
Kingdom was great.
The first or second one?
Second one.
Yeah.
First one was okay.
I enjoy them. It's just I hate when like so much fan wars happen with those, and it's just like instead of just appreciating like the amazing covers that we're getting, they instead just go for each other's throats, and I'm like, come on now, guys. But I do like they have like, amazing groups, like, and that's what like made me even get into other groups like of third gen and stuff was like Kingdom like really introduces like you to like a different groups and stuff like that. Queendom, I only watched the first one so far, like some of it, and I enjoy it for like because like the only ones I knew going in was Mamamoo, and then of course like later on learning about a little bit about NG Idol, I'm learning a little bit about the groups and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the setup was just different and like took me off guard, but it is interesting.
There is one called Good Girl, and it has Jamie in it. It has Cheetah Hoyen, like it has a whole bunch of Queen Wasabi, it has a whole bunch of people, and it's a different take on these shows, which you might like because they're not doing this to compete against each other. Like they're doing this to win, like you get the credit card and you can get money for yourself and go buy something, and then they do duets together and different things. So instead of them like at head to head, oh, there's all this drama, it is just them enjoying their time, and it's like artists who were used to be in girl groups or used to be rappers or whatever, and kind of giving them another time to shine. It was probably the most enjoyable show I've seen because they weren't at each other's necks. Like they tried to cause drama for like the first 2 episodes. I'm like, yeah, that obviously didn't work for y'all because everybody was just friends with each other the entire time.
Right.
So that one was a great one. If you want a show to watch where you're like, oh, nobody's getting eliminated, nobody's gonna be broken. Like it was just good music and a good time.
And that's what I love too. That's what I love to see. And I'll make the final question. So I remember asking this Ebony too. So like as a like person of color in K-pop, like, being a fan, do you feel that you are being represented well by idols and groups, but also like do you feel comfortable and accepted in the fandoms that you're in?
As for the fandoms, it depends on which one, honestly. Some are better than others, and some I wouldn't even bother saying anything. Some of y'all are just not accepting and aren't worth dealing with, honestly. I'm trying to think of some of the ones that are good. Like Twice, I think they're pretty good. I never really have any problems. Blackpink / Blinks 50-50. It just depends on the day. It really depends for the fandom, honestly, because some of them are really good and they'll like critique with me and be like, oh, like yeah, that wasn't appropriate, or I didn't like this song, just depending on what I'm saying. And then some will be like, oh, you're an anti, you just don't like them, and just like other stuff like that. Like it just really depends.
I agree. It depends on the day, depends on the fandom. But it's also why I tend to gravitate more towards multis, because multi fans have a respect when it comes to other groups. It's also why me and my friends started their own community where it's mainly older multis who are just into music and want to have a good time and want to just enjoy the vibe together and not to be too crazy about, oh, well, this group and this group. Yes, that's cool. But it's just kind of finding my own space within those fandoms. Unnecessarily loud car. Finding our own space within those fandoms. as far as being represented in these groups, I don't think anytime soon we're ever really going to find representation for ourselves in these groups. They have the one group that has one token Black person every time. Literally, they just put a different Black person in the role of the same group, which I'm like, it's a little odd for me that it's just that one group. But I don't think anytime soon I'll ever see a version of myself in any of these groups. I'll just enjoy the music.
And I like seen a debate of like, do we even want to push that on K-pop, or like should we just keep K-pop strictly how they've been doing it, or do you think we should continue to push the like diversity envelope?
For me, it doesn't really matter like either way. I just don't like it when they try to put a person of color in there for clout, for hype, like their only purpose is to get people to talk about them. I wouldn't mind if they do or don't. It just kind of depends on if they're going to be treated differently or not.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, if they're going to put a person of color in there, please make the person of color who speaks Korean. Because if you just put a person of color in there to do the damn English lyrics, is pointless. Like, it makes no sense. Put somebody in there who is either half Korean, half whatever, or they just are fluent in Korean so that they are in the culture too, and not just, oh, look, here is a Black person. Oh, here is a Mexican. Now like the group. That's not how this works.
Yeah, it only hurts them in the long run because then they can't even really participate in so many things because of that.
Yep. Even when Felix first came in, like he didn't know like any Korean, like he was kind of just trying his best, and it's just like, so try to put a person of color and they don't know Korean. You just setting them up. Like it's just.
I mean, you throw in Mark and GOT7. Mark threw a laptop at Bam Bam. They got fighting, couldn't understand each other. Everybody, hell yeah! And him and JB were fist fighting. People were trying to translate between them. Like, I'm gonna need people. Don't matter as long as you speak Korean, you good. But a lot of miscommunication happens when you don't.
Especially if like a person of color, like in some words, like I think is it okay? I'd be like, huh? Like I think that's the one where it's like ni it's like
nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga, it means I.
Okay, yeah. And like I see like a funny person, like a Black person, like react. They were like, "What'd you say?" It's like, yeah, like miscommunication can happen. Make yourself a little bit.
It's like the concert. BTS did the concert in the US and they put it on TV and they bleeped out when they were saying nega. And I'm like, because of y'all bleeping that out, they're gonna think they're saying something else and it's gonna cause an issue.
And I know, of course, it's the end of the year, but I still a lot of concerts going on. So I'll end the question, in the chat with, do you guys have any upcoming concerts either for this year or next year that you guys are attending that you guys want to kind of share?
ATEEZ and Waterbomb and The Rose and Mark.
Yeah.
And I have a few more, but I just can't think of them right now.
I don't have any right now. I wish.
Oh, I just have ATEEZ. I mean, I'm saying just, that's my base. But also, like, it's on my birthday. So, like, that's, like, the best birthday.
Oh,
that's a great birthday present.
And I'm not going to bring a sign because, one, I'm already tall. And two, that's just way too much to carry. But
which one are you going to?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
I know. I seen your thing. I'm like, I know. I wish you were gonna say one. But yeah. So I just want one of them to look at me, just like because I know when I went to Monster X, I was all the way up there, but I know Juhan looked at me. I saw that he made eye contact. I know I was all the way up there, but I know he did.
Hey, if you could see him, he could see you.
Right.
So I'm hoping that one of the members just make eye contact with me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. I really had a lot of fun. The other girl that wanted to join, she's like in a different time zone, so it's gonna be like too late for her. But if you guys want to do this again, just let me know. I love just meeting new fans and stuff like that. We can keep in contact and we can probably have more people. What's the limit again for here?
I don't think there is really. You can go up to a good amount of people on this.
Okay. I mean, I don't want too many people because, some people, but I would also like more male K-pop fans. So if you guys know any males that are interested in like a chat with us, just let me know. And yeah, we'll set up a time and date if you guys want to do this again. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.